Let's talk Tanya for the 24th of Shevat. Yesterday we spoke about the value of our internal struggles. We shouldn't be ashamed of who we are and the fact that we have to struggle. And today, the Alter Rebbe continues on this topic. The Alter Rebbe points to an interesting verse in the Torah where we have Yitzchak calls in his son Esav, and he tells him, I want to bless you, but first, Aseli matamim kasher hafti. I want you to prepare for me delicacies as I like them. On this, the Zohar tells us that although the statement happened and it was a certain person talking to another person, it was Yitzchak talking to Esav, but we know that Torah can be understood on multiple levels. In fact, this is a statement which God is speaking at all times to his child, which is us, the Jewish people. And God asks us, Aseli matamim, I want you to make for me delicacies. And the key over here is delicacies in the plural. Not a delicacy, but delicacies. And why is that? Let's talk about, when we're talking about delicacies in terms of food, there are two different, you might want to say genres or type of delicacies. There are sweet foods, the cake, the ice cream. And then there is the savory foods, the lasagna, the pizza, the pastrami sandwich. And they are both very different, they're distinct, but both of them bring a person pleasure. And God also, he turns to us and says, I want you, collectively, the Jewish people, to make for me delicacies because there are two types of things that I enjoy. I enjoy the service of the tzaddik, of the perfect person, the person who is all sweet and sugar and honey and has no negativity inside and no temptations and no character flaws, and their service for God is just suffused with love and beauty and holiness. That's one type of delicacy. But there's another type of delicacy, the savory kind. That is the service of God that is spiced with salt and with pepper. That is the service of God that is spiced with all the character flaws that we have. That is the service of God of the struggler, of the Beinoni. And that God also finds very, very delicious. What we have from this, we understand, many of us, the reason why we are ashamed and the reason why we're upset is because, wow, look at that person, that's tzaddik, that person's perfect. Why can't I be perfect? Because I am perfect only in thought, speech, and action. The tzaddik is also perfect on the inside. Their emotions are perfect. Their intellect is perfect. So I am half of a tzaddik. I only have accomplished and succeeded in getting halfway. I'm only in control of my thought, speech, and action. But what Tanya is telling us is no. The struggler is not a half of a tzaddik. It's a completely different path. The tzaddik gives God one type of pleasure. The Beinoni, the struggler, gives God another type of pleasure. And it's not about being half the tzaddik. It's a different service entirely. We have to be proud of that and rejoice in the knowledge that through our strugglers, we are giving God this incredible pleasure. To put it in somewhat different words, if you are struggling with a certain mitzvah, let's say it's difficult for you to do a certain mitzvah and you struggle, and at the end you do it. Or you struggle with a certain sin. You struggle, you want to do it, but at the end you don't do it. So most of us tend to look at it and say, well, the main thing is that I did the mitzvah. Okay, let's say I struggle in giving charity, or I struggle honoring my parents. So, okay, I ended up giving the charity. I ended up honoring my parents. That's all that matters. That's the gift that I gave to God. But the truth is, no, you gave God two gifts. There was the charity, there was the honoring the parents. But the struggle, the suppressing the animal soul is also a gift to God. And I'm not even sure which one is the greater gift that we give to God. When we understand this, we can realize that our struggles are not an obstacle in our service to God. They are our service of God. In tomorrow's Tanya, we're going to find out that our struggle is so valuable and so precious that even when we are not feeling a struggle, we actually proactively bring on the struggle onto ourselves. How is that? Well, let's talk some Tanya tomorrow.